you need the anointing so that demons recognize you and obey you, and you can actually cast out demons, number one. But you also need the anointing, number two, for protection. When you're a believer, you still need to follow God's principles, his commands, or you open up doors. By God's principles, I mean planting yourself in a church where God is really moving in power. So that's one of the principles I mean. And when you do this, the anointing is coming upon your life, touching every area, and also coming over your life for protection. A covering comes over you when you abide by God's principles, such as this one, planting yourself. I've seen people before come saying, I'm a pastor, but my wife here was cursed by a witch. But how can that happen, right? Well, if there is not anointing in one's life, if they're not having a covering, a true covering where true anointing is, then there is an open door for these things to happen. When you have the covering of the anointing, you don't need to be worrying about enemies. You could have a neighbor that's doing witchcraft and you don't need to worry at all. Not just because you're a believer simply, but because you're following God's principles. So then these things come. Then the protection, the covering of anointing comes. So that covering of anointing where you are planted, that powerful anointing where demons can't stay, that same powerful anointing is now covering you. And so if a witch tries to curse you, it will come back at the witch or warlock. It cannot touch, they're not allowed to in the spiritual realm. You are going by God's principles and laws, and so you're safe there. If you are not abiding by God's principles, like being planted, having a covering of anointing, and you just go trying to cast out demons, the demons see that you are outside of the principles of God. And therefore, it's an open door. And therefore, they can have legal access to mess with you. So it's not safe for a lukewarm believer, a believer maybe who's excited about casting out demons, but it's not serious about surrender, who's not planted where God's power is. It's not safe for them to go start addressing demons, confronting demons, because they see in the spiritual realm. They see, like Paul. I know Paul. I know I have to obey him. I know Jesus. I know I have to obey him. But who are you? So they see the anointing you carry and the anointing that covers you.